ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, verse number 37. These are prayers of Sri Brahmaji. So in previous class we read how Brahma said that he is bewildered when he thinks what Krishna will award to the Vrajvasis who have given everything, whose very life is he. And then if it was said that why he is praising them so much, they are only grihasthas, sannyasis who are superiors. So then he said the next verse, where he said that all these raga and dvesha, they are only problem until one is not a devotee of Krishna. So once one becomes devotee, then everything is in relationship with Krishna, whether it is raga or dvesha or moha. krodha or lobha or any of these qualities which are considered as cause of bondage to the material world. So they take another appearance, another meaning, and they are no more trouble. So now he continues to speak.
I'd like to ask on this topic. So what is actually the qualification for an aspiring bhakta? What is the qualification to enter into Grihastha ashram? From the Q&A from the last class, I understood that once one is pure in that sense, then the Grihastha ashram can support the advancement in bhakti. But as long as there's a mixture, or then it can be a fortification of bondage, or it is a source of bondage. So would this imply that unless one has completed anartha nivritti, one should not enter into Grihastha ashram? Or
actually, we have to understand this very clearly, because this is a great confusion, and this question keeps coming. Although we have spoken maybe hundreds of times on this, that bhakti is a separate process, and separate process means it is independent. So there is no such thing as what is the qualification of a bhakta to enter into varnashram or into grihastha life or this life or that life. Bhakti does not give anything like that. Bhakti is teaching what is bhakti, how you execute it, whether you are griha thako bane, what is that? Bane thako sada hari bola dako. So whether you are grihastha or you are vanastha, it does not make any difference. No qualification for this or for that. That is your choice, because it's not related with bhakti. So you have to first understand what is bhakti, and if you have that qualification, then you can stay according to the circumstance, according to the situation that you want to marry or not marry. So if you do not have bhakti, then grihastha ashram will be a problem on the path of bhakti. If you have bhakti, then it is not a problem.
Then grihastha ashram will also be a problem.
No, it is always a problem. So aradhito yadi hari tapsa tat kim, naradhito yadi hari tapsa tat kim. So if you have worshipped Krishna, which means if you are a devotee, then what is the point of taking sannyas? And if you are not a devotee, then what is the point of taking sannyas? And this applies to everything else. So main thing is trying to understand what is bhakti. And once that bhakti is there, then it can be a grihastha, it can be vanprastha, it can be anything.
And once bhakti is there, what does it mean exactly? That, coming back to my original question, would it mean that anartha nivritti is completed, or?
So you have to have shraddha, because then how will you check anartha nivritti? Anartha nivritti goes all the way up to bhav, although it is stated earlier, but it's still going on. So main thing is shraddha. तावत् कर्माणि कुर्वीत न निर्विद्यते यावता मत कथा श्रद्धादौ मत कथा श्रवणादौ वा श्रद्धा यावन्न जायते. So that shraddha is the problem. So we keep on talking of all types of things, including manjari bhav, when basically shraddha may not be there, because people don't even understand what is shraddha. So this is something, bhakti is not simply for talking or speaking and discussing, it is for experiencing. So when you have that, you will lose interest in that. But he says, Tavat karmani kurvita means remaining in grihastha life. Yavat shraddha na jayate. After that, if any shraddha is there, now it does not mean that you have to run away from the house. That's what he's saying. Tavad raga deyastena. Tavad karagriham griham. Tavad moham grih nigadam. Yavat krishnantam. So then there is no need for him to run away or to get married. Like somebody wants to prove that I will prove that you can be devotee by becoming grihastha. So these are all ideas people have without understanding what is bhakti, what is shraddha, what are the steps. Otherwise, what is the need for someone to prove this or prove that? Prove to whom? And what will you prove? Are you going to demonstrate to people that look how peacefully we are living? How do they know what you are doing in your own apartment? You are fighting or not fighting? You are having trouble or not trouble? How will you prove it? Are you going to give a test? So therefore bhakti is not against anything. But you have to have it. And all the problems come when you don't have it. And the beginning is with Shraddha. Although Shraddha is needed on any path, but here it is very specifically needed. And the Shraddha is Shastriya Shraddha. And the Shraddha, Shastriya Shraddha does not come without studying Shastra. Because how can it come without studying Shastra? Because it is called Shastriya Shraddha. Because the very meaning of Shraddha is Shastra Arth Vishwas. What is Shraddha? Shastra Arth Vishwas. Simple. To believe in the meaning of Shastra, not believing in Shastra, but believing in the meaning of Shastra. And how will you believe in the meaning of Shastra if you don't study Shastra? So therefore Shraddha is also Satviki Shraddha, Rajasi Shraddha, Tamsi Chaiti Tatha, Trividha Bhavati Shraddha, Dehinam Sasvabhavja, Satviki Rajasi Chaiva, Tamsi Chatatha. Krishna says 3 types, but this is not these 3 types of Shraddha. There is a 4th type of Shraddha, that is Shastriya Shraddha. And that comes only by studying Shastra. So this is problematic. That's why I said the problem is Shraddha. So that is when you are on the highway of Bhakti, when Shraddha is there. And if Shraddha is not there, and again when I say Shraddha, I am not going to all the time qualify it with Shastriya. It is understood I am talking about Shastriya Shraddha. So when you have that Shraddha, then you are on the highway of Bhakti. Then you can be grahastha, you can be avanprastha, you can be sannyasi, anything, it doesn't matter. But when that is not there, then all these considerations will come. So that's why he said, that's the meaning of the sloka, Tavad raga deyastena. So Tavad karagriham griham. Griha is considered as Karagriha. Karagriha means prison house. So why it is prison house? Because it binds you, you rotate around your house, means your family, your personal needs. These days families are not there, people are living single, but still they have their attachments. The house is the center of their attachment. Means that is their shelter basically, that's where they come. They go anywhere, then they come to there. So it is called Sharan. So it is to be understood. That's why bhakti is not easy to understand. I keep on repeating it. Because why it is not easy to understand? Because it comes from Shastra. It is explained, it is understood only from Shastra, not otherwise. Otherwise, you can hear so many katha and stories and this Babaji and this sadhu and this bai and they didn't study anything and they did this. You can do all that, yeah, that's fine. They are very appealing, attractive, and they may be all true, but you don't know their past life. What they have done in their past life. They all studied Shastra in their past life. This is Arthapatti Pramana. Why Arthapatti Pramana? Because Shastra itself is saying this, that it is not possible otherwise. So therefore Rupa Goswami, when he talks about Adhikari, then he talks about this only. Shastra Nipunam. So when we say that it is Kanishtha Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari, it is all on the basis of understanding of Shastra. Kanishtha means that his understanding of Shastra is not very good. He believes in it, but his understanding is not strong yet. And Uttama means that he knows Shastra very well and he can hold his ground if challenged. So that is the Shraddha. So it's all related with Shastra only. So any other question? Is it clear? So let's study the sloka. Prapancham nisprapanchopi vidambayasi bhutale prapanna janatananda sandoham prathitum prabho. So that's why if you see Shastra again and again, there is this talk of having Guru. When Krishna says Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevya updekshanti, Upadesh is not just some giving one lecture, means you have to study. Tasmad gurum prapadyeda jigyasu shreyottamam. So go to. So nirdeha madhyam sulbham sukalpam sudurlabham sulbham sukalpam. So this human body is meant for Guru Karnadhar. So Guru is the captain of the boat, body is like a boat. So again and again it is stated. So Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasya kathita hi artha. Kathita hi artha, the meaning of Shastra. So that will happen only, otherwise it is not possible. Swata jnanam kutah punsham bhakti vairagyam evacha. How can a person have knowledge by oneself? For simple things also we depend on others. So it is for that Bhagavan comes here on earth to teach this. That is the meaning of Dharma Sansthapanartha Sambhavami Yuge. So this Dharma Sanstapana is teaching, education. Because jnanena hina pashubhi samana. Without knowledge, animal, human beings, what is the difference? It's only that knowledge of Shastra which makes the difference. Now you can see what is happening all over the world. How human beings are better than animals, are living more peacefully. Right? They are not in so much danger of this war, this missile, that missile coming. All kinds of fear. So they are not educated, but they are also not having intelligence to attack others, make plan, exploits. So human mind can be very dangerous if it is not purified with the knowledge of Shastra. That is the importance. So Brahma says, Prapancham nisprapanchopi vidambayasi bhutale prapanna janata ananda sandoham prathitum prabhu. So he says that, Hey Prabhu, you are nisprapancha. You are beyond this material world, you are transcendental to material world. Still, prapancham vidambayasi. Still you are acting like a material person on earth. Why are you doing this? Prapanna janata ananda sandoham prathitum. To give pleasure, to expand the pleasure of people who are surrendered to you. So this is his purpose. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Nanu vraje asmin etat putradi bhavam purna brahmano mama na vastuta iti kechin manyante. So Krishna is asking a question to Brahma. That Brahma, some people they don't believe in my relationship here, that I am Purna Brahma and then I have this relationship that I am son of Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, I am friend of all my Subal, Madhumangal, all these, I am brother of Balram. He says they think that this is not real, na vastuta. So, what do you say about that? So he says, Satyam te bhranta eva ityaha. So Brahma says, yeah, this is true, some people think like that. But these people are bhranta, they are in illusion. They do not have proper understanding. They are not ignorant, but they have wrong knowledge. Ignorant means I don't know, but they think they know. So that is called bhranta, like you mistake rope for snake and you believe this is a snake. So that is called illusion. So he speaks this verse. He says, Nisprapanchopi, prapanchatitopi. So you are nisprapancha, you are beyond this material world. Prapancha means material world. You are not a material person. Bhutale sadastita san prapancham vidambayasi. So you are always situated here on earth. You are acting like a material person. So you are transcendental, but your activities appear like that, and therefore they think it is not real. So prapanchastham putradi bhavam anukaroshi. Prapanchikeshu pitradishu prapanchika putradayo yatha cheshtante tathaitvam api cheshtase ityartha. So he says that you are situated here in the material world and you are imitating the putra bhav, all these moods. So what does it mean? He says that just like the materialistic people, they have relationships, son, father, brother, sister, etc. So they have their activities, like that you are also doing, although you are not material. Tena jivanam yatha pitri putradi bhavo hiya vastavas tatha tavna. So just as the people here in the material world, this relationship of father, son, etc. is not real. Not real because it is actually based on the body, which is itself temporary. And since we are not the body, because we assume that we are this body, then we have this relationship. So, but this relationship is not real. It's only material relation. So you also behave like this, but your relation is not material because you are not material. Your body is not material. The body of your parents, friends, relatives is also not material. Therefore your relation is also not material because you are always like that. Tavatu sanisprapanchatvad vastavo nitya. In your case, this relationship is not material and therefore it is real, which means it is eternal. In case of human beings, every relation is temporary. It comes to an end. Sometimes when we are living, otherwise by death, it comes to an end. So death will bring every relation to an end. Tava-līlā nitya prapanchatito api prapancha anukaranam mayi iti siddhanta. So your lila, your pastimes, your sports are eternal and they are non-material. But they look like material because as if you are imitating them. They appear to be like any other material relationship, but they are not. So kimartham vidambayasi, why do you imitate this? So generally it is the fake thing which imitates the real thing, right? So here it is the real relation which is imitating the fake one. Right? There is a real jewelry and there is imitation jewelry. So it is called imitation because it imitates the real one. So here it is other way around. So the question asked is, why do you imitate? What is your need? These other people are imitating because they want to make some profit. So why are you imitating? What is your purpose? There must be some purpose. If you imitate somebody, there must be some purpose behind it. So he says, kimartham vidambhyasi. So he says, prapanna ya janata tasya yah tadrish lila swadana uttha ananda sandoha stam prathet. So this is to expand the store or collection of bliss which comes by tasting your lila by your devotees or those who are surrendered to you. Means you do this to give pleasure to your devotees. So therefore people are always saying Krishna is supreme enjoyer. Right? But here what he is saying is that he is not supreme enjoyer, he is the supreme giver of enjoyment. He is supreme enjoyer, that's nothing wrong with it, but when we hear of like this, we tend to think as if he is enjoying and others are suffering. But how does he enjoy? He enjoys by giving enjoyment. So he is not thinking I am enjoyer and I have to enjoy. That's not his mood. His mood is that I have to give enjoyment to my devotees, I have to serve my devotees. And that's his pleasure. And because he is very good at it, therefore he enjoys. So that's why he says, prapanna janata ananda. Brahma did not say that you are imitating this because you want to enjoy. He could have also said that. That some people enjoy in acting. They take a role and they act and they enjoy it. Right? Or some people enjoy dancing. So he is not acting so that he can enjoy. He is acting so that he can give pleasure to his devotees. And that's how he enjoys. So this also we have to remember, because we hear this all the time. He is supreme enjoyer, he is supreme enjoyer. No, he is supreme giver of enjoyment. So this is the spiritual concept of enjoyment. Because we have material idea of enjoying, then when we hear he is supreme enjoyer, immediately we think, oh, he is enjoying like this, he is doing this to enjoy. No. The spiritual concept of enjoyment is to give enjoyment. And that is the only way they enjoy. It's like here in the material world, the concept of enjoyment is that I do something which is pleasing to me, to my senses. And their concept of enjoyment is they do something which is to give pleasure to others. So he takes the cows for their pleasure, he takes his friends, gives pleasure to them, comes home, gives pleasure, everything for pleasure. He became calf. Will any human being would like to become a calf? I mean, in the normal sense of the mind. Will anyone do that? I mean, ask anybody. Everybody say, I want to be a manjari. Right? I want manjari swarup. I want this, I want. At least you want to be a sakha. Does anyone say that they want to become a cow in Vrindavan? But he became himself. You have to understand that up to what extent he goes to give pleasure. To give pleasure to the cows, he became a calf, running around on 4 legs. So, which 2-legged person wants to be having 4 legs? Nobody wants that. So this is his mood, that to be servant of his devotee, he can do anything. So therefore he says vidambayasi, for this reason. So ananda sandohas tam prathetum. They are already having ananda. He wants to increase it more. The prapanna janta, the people who are surrendered, they are already blissful. Because surrendering to Krishna is already blissful. But he wants to increase that. So then he does all these things. So Brahmanandad Vaikunthiya Lila Anandad api Vistariti Kartum Bhutale Tirtham. So to give them pleasure which is more than Brahmananda, more than even the Ananda which devotees derive from his Vaikuntha Lila, he comes here on Bhutala. Because this word was used Bhutale. He's not talking about Golok Vrindavan. Bhutale. Prapancham nisprapanchopi vidambayasi Bhutale. People want to go to Golok Vrindavan. Right? And Krishna wants to remain on earth. So this is the Bhagavata's philosophy. This is Bhagavata's marvelous philosophy, that it reduces the distinction between material world and spiritual world. This verse is removing that Virja river. That there is a Virja river between spiritual sky and material sky. No, there is nothing, all one. Because that who is beyond that Virja river, he is here on Bhutalai. And he said always. So why go there when he is already here? And this is more wonderful than there. That's the next point he is going to make. Krishna's pastime on earth are more wonderful than his pastimes in Goloka. That's why prapanche, nisprapanchopi, prapancham nisprapanchopi vidambeyasi bhutale. This Bhāgavatam has to be understood. This is giving something very special knowledge. So then no need to go anywhere. Just be here. So why he is on Bhutale only? So now he says that Prakashe Deepo Nati Shobhate Yatha Andhakare. He says if you have a lamp, then where does it appear brilliant? In darkness or in light? Does the lamp appear nice when there is a sun, midday sun, or it appears good when it is dark room? Sveta Rajata Patre Hirakaratnam Nati Shobhte Yatha Nila Kachadi Patre. If you have a silver pot or silver ornament, and in that you put a diamond, will it appear more beautiful studied in a golden silver pot or blue glass? Nila Kachadi Patra. You have a cup which is made of silver and you put a diamond in that. Will that appear beautiful? Or if you have a blue glass pot and you put a diamond, where diamond will appear better? Where will it appear better? In the blue one. Because diamond is already that same color as the silver. So there is not much contrast. So things appear beautiful when there is a contrast. So therefore he is here. Tathaiva chinmaya vakunthe chinmay lila nati chamatkarot. So vakuntha is chinmay, is spiritual, transcendental, and you do your transcendental lila there. That's not very wonderful. But you do that lila here on earth, that is supremely wonderful. So that is the importance of material world. That Krishna's greatness appears more here in the material world because there is more contrast. So therefore he stays here. Vidambhyasi. So he says, Yatha Maya Maye Prapanche. As his pastimes appear wonderful in the Maya, this material world made of Maya, they don't appear that wonderful in spiritual world. Because everything is spiritual there. There are no Aghasura, Bakasura, no Kamsa, nothing. All this is not there. Such problems don't exist there. So it is here that you have all this rasa.
Yes, Vakiya as well.
Not Parakyas, okay.
That he comes here because only here he can engage in Parakya Bhav.
What is going to stop him there? What will stop him? So, yadyapi Brajmandalam api chinmayam eva. So actually Brajmandal is Chinmaya only, because it is his eternal abode. But still he manifests it here in the material world. There is no difference, this or that. But still there is some speciality. Tadapi Krishnasya prakrit purusa sadharmyam eva bhutalastha vrat mandalasyapi prakrit bhutal sadharmyam eva drishtam. So just as Krishna appears like a material person having material relationship, in the same way Brajmandal here on earth also takes that quality. It also appears like material. It does not appear Chinmay. Like Brajmandal is here, so it appears material. People ask, so how is this transcendental? How is this different from you cross limit? Many times people, I remember many years ago somebody asked me this question, that you say that this Brajmandal is spiritual, so these birds which are flying and they may fly out in Brajmandal, then they fly back, so then they are material, now they are spiritual. Then he says, what is this? So are they spiritual or are they material? Somebody takes a car from Delhi, comes here, now he is in the spiritual, then he goes out, then material. And then all these pigs and dogs on the street.
Open sewage, monkeys, mosquitoes.
So therefore he says that prakrit purusa sadharmyam eva, that it takes some qualities like the material world, although it is still spiritual.
Not about Lila.
Yes, like Krishna himself. So therefore bhutalastha brajmandalasya api prakrit bhutal sadharmyam eva. So this Brajmandal which is manifest here on earth, it also appears like material part of this material earth.
No sound. Off the record, I just heard from someone who is considered an authority that one more reason Krishna comes here is there's no parakia in Vrindavan. Only in I've heard, I cannot have Shastric Praman, but I've heard from an authority.
So get Shastric Praman from that authority. What is the problem? If he is an authority, he can also give you Shastric Praman.
Okay, I will ask.
Yeah. If somebody is saying, then you can ask, okay, please can you...
What does Jiva Goswami say about this?
Jiva Goswami we already studied in Krishna Sandarbha.
That Parakya is also in Goloka Vrindavan.
He says both.
Both? Okay, thank you.
But only one is true.
Because if you go to Radhakund, the Vrajbasi say, very often you hear them say, the real Vrajbasis, they don't want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. They don't want to go anywhere. They pray to take birth again in Vraj. They pray like this. So they know, they understand something. They know something.
Maybe. There are many people who can talk like that.
Okay.
Ato atra lila chamatkara ityeva iti. So he says that therefore the pastime here in Bhutal, Vrindavan, is more wonderful. He Prabho iti mamapi prapancha madhye ganayati. So he is calling him as Prabhu. He says, the sense is that please count me also as one within the prapancha, in this material world. Means I can also remain here. So now Brahma is finally wrapping up his prayers. He has spoken a lot. Now he wants to bring it to close. So he said, Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktya name prabho manso vapusho vacho vaibhavam tab gocharaha. So he says that those who say that they know, let them know. Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktva me prabhu. He says there is no point for me to speak so much. All I want to say is that tava vaibhavam manaso vapuso vacho na janam. That your vaibhav, your greatness, your majesty, I don't understand by my mind, not by body, or your vaibhav of your mind, where your mind is the greatness of your body, and the meaning of your words, vacha, na gochara. There I cannot understand. So he says, Tava manaso vapuso vacho vaibhavam na gochara. The na which is in first line actually comes here. So the meaning is that finally Brahma, he gives up. That I have said this, but ultimately my conclusion is that I know nothing. So it is as if Krishna said to him that Brahma, you are a great Pandit, you seem to know everything. So then Brahma says, I know nothing. If I knew, I would not be doing what I did. So Satyam Tarhi Mat Swarupasya Mad Vrajvasinam Madhya Līlāya Mad Bhaktesya Sarvam Eva Tattvam Madagrepi Sapratibham Eva Vyachakshana Bhavad Vidha Asmin Jagati Kiyanto Vartante. So Krishna is asking Brahma that very expertly you have described all my tattva regarding about my swarupa, because he spoke about your Narayana, your this, all the Brahmandas are coming from the pores of your body. You have described Rajvasis, Madhamarths with Pranashaya. So you have described about my Leela, that Saprapancham Nisprapanchopi Vidambayasi Bhutale. You have described about my devotees. So you know everything. You know about my Swarupa, you know about my devotees, you know about my abode, you know about my activities. This is wonderful. Now I want to know how many people are there like you who know this. So Bhavad Vidha Asmin Jagati Kiyanto Vartante. In this world, how many are there like this? Tan Jigyase. I am curious to know about that. So Vakroktim Ashankya Satrapam Sakampam Sanutapam Aha Janante. So as if, because Krishna is not speaking, so as if Brahma thought that he may say like this, so then with what you call shame and shaking and with lamentation, he speaks this verse, Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktva na me prabhu. Ye janantaste janantu. Those who know, let them know. For those who think they know, let them know. Aham tu mahamurkha eva asmi. As far as I am concerned, I am a big fool. I am completely ignorant. This is what he is saying in this verse. Nanu tarhi katham etavat kshan paryantam brushaeva. He says, you are saying you are ignorant, you are foolish. Then how is that till now you have been describing all my activities like this? So tatraha kim bahuktva. He says, what can I say with all these statements? Tvadagre bahuktireva murkhatva dyotini ityartha. He says, all this what I have said in front of you, this indeed is the sign of my foolishness. Why is that this is the sign of foolishness? So just like I am trying to show a lamp to the sun. You know everything and I am nothing in front of you, and you already showed your majesty to me, and still I am speaking and you are standing quietly just looking at me, not saying one word. So who can be more foolish than me? It is you who should speak and I should listen. But rather I am speaking and you are silent. So that's why I say that I am a mahamurkha, I am greatly stupid. Nanu Brahman niskapatam bruhi. So then Krishna says, come on Brahman, be straightforward. Don't just make a show of humility. Just be straightforward, without any deception. So many people say, I am humble servant, I am your humble servant. Don't talk. I am most humble servant. I am more humble servant than this guy. So don't talk like that. So then he says, Kim tatraha naiti. He says, Tav vaibhavam aishwaryam mama manaso na gochraiti. He says, your vaibhava I cannot know even through my mind. And I already said it. Dhyanena anta prapti abhavat. So I cannot reach your end by my meditation. Vapusaiti adhuna eva chakshushapi. And by body I now in front of you with my own eyes I cannot understand you. And vacha iti gunatmanastepi gunan vimatum hitavtirnasya kaishirasya. So by speech I have already said that it is not possible to measure your qualities who have manifested here for the welfare of the world. Even if you can count the dust particles on the earth, Bhupansava, Khemihika, the water particles in the sky, and Dubhasa, and the electrons or photons in the light, still one cannot count your qualities. So mamana gochraiti tvan mansi yat kimapi asti. So iti maya tavad uktam eva. I already said that. Yadva, or this manso, vatso, vapusa can be applied in two ways. It can be applied to Brahma, that by my mind, by body, speech I cannot know, or it can apply to Krishna, that I cannot understand your mind, your body and your speech. So now it takes the second meaning. So it says Yadva tav manaso vaibhavam mamna gochara. Or the meaning is that I am unable to understand the greatness or majesty of your mind. Iti tvan manasi yat kimapi asti tat kim maya jyatum sakyate. Is it ever possible for me to understand what is in your mind. And Sakshat Taveva Kimuta Atma Sukhanubhute. So I already said Iti Purvameva Madukte Asyapide Madavanugrahasya Bhu Svechamayasya Natu Bhutamayasya Kopi Nese Mahitu Avishutum Manasantarene Sakshat Taveva Kimutatma Sukhanubhute. So this sloka we already did. We said that I am unable to understand anything about this body. Evam tadvapusaiti tadvapushi kimastiti tavvachaiti. Similarly about your body, I cannot understand. You are small, then you became so many. He also spoke about that. Then you expanded yourself into so many Vishnus. How can I understand your body? And तब वाचा इति तब वेद लक्षणायाम वाची किमस्ति. And then your speech, so your speech is in the form of the Vedas, so that also I don't understand. Sakshat tav tu mai maunvatvat, or your speech directly now you are completely silent, you are not speaking at all. So how can I understand your speech when you don't even speak one word? So therefore I have no idea. So vachan gandhasya api apraptireva. I have not got even little fragrance of your words, because all this time Krishna did not speak one word to him. He will not speak. Brahma finally just gives up. He recites such wonderful prayers. Krishna did not say one word. So he just did parikrama and then he left. What can he do? He didn't want to see. He was upset with him. So he said, you are upset, I go. So tasmat ke khalu tvadagre madadeo varaka iti bhava. So therefore the meaning is that who am I to speak in front of you? What is my qualification to say anything in front of you? I don't understand your mind, I don't understand your body, I don't understand your speech. So what can I say? So therefore he says, Kim bahuktva name prabhu. So all these words that I have spoken are just sign of my ignorance, that's all. So that is the end of commentary on this sloka. And there are two more sloka on the prayer. We will do that tomorrow. If there is any question on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. So I have a doubt actually. The doubt is that Brahmaji also explained the 5 rasas. He understands the devotees. So it seems to me that with the devotees, like there's devotees and Krishna, and the number of activities they can do based on the rasas would be limited, right? Because I mean, there is Rāsa-līlā, there are other such līlas. So why does he say that he cannot understand him completely? I mean, wouldn't it for Brahma also intelligent to extrapolate, for example, when you understand the rasas, then he could also understand the līlas automatically?
He could understand the rasas. I didn't hear the last. What is this double voice coming? What was the last sentence he said?
So if you understood the rasas, if you understand the rasas, so you can also understand all the līlas.
Well, his leelas are unlimited. That's what was said earlier. I mean, now what he did.
So why does he say he does not understand?
What is this? Hmm? What is that?
How can Leela be unlimited?
Prabhu, could it be that you have someone else in your background speaking?
No, there is nobody.
Okay.
I think our bad internet connection.
Okay. Yeah, we have difficulties to understand you clearly.
Maybe I'll repeat once again. The
No,
question
no, I understood the question. Your question is that
Leela is unlimited.
how can Leela be unlimited?
Yeah. I mean, the Rāsa-līlā is like a standard Rāsa-līlā, the standard. It seems to be like in the Bhāgavatam, the Leelas are limited, so how can it be unlimited? Like we see limited Leelas in the Bhāgavatam. So how can it go from those? I mean, I'm not able to imagine how Leelas can be unlimited.
So first of all, Bhagavatam Leelas are unlimited. Does it mean that all the Leelas are described? So you are assuming, yeah. So why, if Krishna is unlimited and he has unlimited forms, so then he is performing unlimited activities. Even if it is in the same rasa. Suppose he has got millions of friends with him and he with every friend he is doing so many different activities. So why it cannot be unlimited?
Yes, but the theme will be more or less the same. Like if you know the basic of Rāsa-līlā, then the others is just minor variations of it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but just now he did this. Krishna, he stole the calves and cowherd boys. Okay?
Yeah.
And then Krishna bewildered him. So did Brahma understand it? Even if it is limited Leela, forget about unlimited part. He did not understand what happened. He was thinking, I have taken these boys and now let me go and see what Krishna is doing. He did not know that what Krishna has done. And then he suddenly became Vishnu. Was he expecting this? And then he may not even know what he is trying to do. Why Krishna did what he did. He may not understand that. Just because he is doing some activity, even if you know that he did this activity, do you understand why he did it?
Okay.
That's what it means.
Babaji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You were mentioning that Krishna did not speak with Brahma or did not give any replies because he was upset with him. So I was just wondering, maybe it's too early to ask this question and we're coming to that, but in the case of Indra, who did much bigger offense, Krishna did speak with him. So what was the difference between these two incidents?
So this is exactly what Brahma is saying, that who can understand. So the difference is that Indra did offense, but by his offense all the Brajvasis came together. And Brahma did offense and he made a suppression. He took away the cowherd boys from him. And when Indra did that, everyone was with Krishna, enjoying. So that's the difference. Any other question?
Babaji, just one more point. In this case, it would mean that the outcome, the result, was more important than the intention. But often it's said in devotional service that what counts is more the intention and not so much the outcome. We should be better, but outcome is in Krishna's hands, but what counts is really the better and the intention.
So is it always like that outcome is not important and only the intention is important?
No, I don't think that it's not important, but the emphasis is usually more.
Yeah, so it may be usually more, but the outcome can also have an influence. So that's the point which is being made here. That who can understand his mind? Now you are giving this logic, but you think Krishna has to go by this logic only? That intention and not the outcome? No, he is seeing directly that okay, Indra did this, but at least we are together. And Brahma did this and he separated. So that is his mood, what is pleasing to him or not.